Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of A Magic You. My name is Yulisa and I am your host for this podcast. If you are new here, welcome. If you are not new here, welcome back. I hope that you guys have been having a good spring thus far. I'm going to just jump into a little bit of a weekly recap. Last week, the Prickly Pear girls and I went to ICES in Philly. It's a convention for estheticians. And then I worked a couple days. Then I went on a girls trip with Caylin to Woodstock, New York. And I just got back yesterday. So today's been kind of a catching up and where did I leave off kind of day, running errands and cleaning the house a little bit and just trying to figure out where I left off. This episode is just going to be going over the two events and whatever comes. So the team and I went to ICES in Philly, and we have been wanting to go to this for years now. I honestly hate that I'm not a good planner, and that's truly the reason we all haven't gone yet, but this year was different. We saw the dates with enough time, and we were able to book tickets and block out schedules. So I drove us to Philly, and I'm so proud of myself. I definitely gave myself a pat on the back, like for real, because not only am I not a good, I don't want to say I'm not a good driver, but I don't want to say I enjoy driving. So to drive my tank to Philly and in the city and having to park it in the parking garage and everything like that, like I am just so proud of myself. So we got there and then we entered the convention center on the side that the classes were being held at, not knowing. And at that moment, there was a wax class male demo going on for like brows, nose, and legs. We went into the wax conference room and I just kind of wanted to get an idea for how they are. Like we have never been to anything. We weren't planning on going to this specific wax demo, but the timing was perfect. It was Ital Wax, and it was being hosted by Glow and Sculpt Studio, and they're based out of New Jersey. And she was demoing her husband's like nose wax, brows, and cleanups on beards, as well as leg waxing. So I just love waxing so much. It was so fun to hear her talk and also find out new tips and tricks that other estheticians do that are so simple that I just like didn't think about. For example, when waxing a guy's nose, if they have like a mustache, just to put like, the tongue depressor right above their mustache to cover it. I had never thought about that. Like, so smart. At the beginning of the class, when you walked in, they were having everyone put their first name, last initial on a piece of paper, and that they were going to do a raffle and drawing at the end of the class. So everybody put their name on a piece of paper and put it in the little bucket that they had. There was no registration for this class. We just got there and showed up. I really enjoyed being able to see someone demo waxing in a conference setting. And it inspired me, guys. I felt so inspired. As I was sitting there, I was thinking about, wow, like, is this something that I can truly see myself doing? Is this something that I want to like go for? And also, what would I be instructing? When I tell you guys I felt like inspired, it wasn't just like, like that would be so cool. It was like a fire lit within me of just excitement, which is what was going through my head as I'm like watching the demo, also listening, keeping in mind everything going on, the help that like she's getting, the supplies she has. Like I am taking notes. At the end of the class, they were asking if anyone was interested in maybe trying the wax that they were using. So a lot of people were like interested, but then they suggested why not draw names for someone that can come up and demo the arm wax with using like Idle Wax, and somebody else can win a free bag of wax. It was very random. Like I said, we all put our names on the piece of paper and just put it back in the bucket. It was a name drawn out of a hat, basically, right? Well, wouldn't you know it, my name gets called. I was like, no way this is happening. My heart started racing. I started getting nervous. I took a big deep breath. I got up and I was like, okay, like I'm doing this. What I had just been wishing for in the chair and like envisioning, like it's happening. And I'm not gonna lie, I like blacked out in the moment. Like I can remember bits and pieces, but like looking up at an audience, like my vision was definitely very spotty. And I had to tell myself that this is no different than when I am officiating a wedding. The room was filled with probably about 50 people. I had no time to think about anything, what I was going to say really. It was just get up and go demo the arm wax using their wax. So like I said, I took a deep breath and I just told myself this is no different than when I am doing a wedding. And I also said out loud, well, I guess if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it right. Precautions, everything. So I got my gloves on and I started just going through the motions of as if I was teaching. I cleansed the arm, I prepped, I explained what I was doing. I tested the wax out, and I'm going to be so honest, I wasn't crazy about it just because it was at a higher temperature than I am used to. It was a cream wax. I'm definitely more of a gel girl, but I just feel like I was kind of already like anxious, and the wax was just a little bit runny for my liking, but it did do a good job itself. So if I could lower the temp, I think I would have liked it a bit more. But I applied, and then at one point, I noticed that if I would have like just hurried and ripped the wax where it was, I was going to break it and cause like a mess, and just already knowing that I didn't want that to happen. So I went in with more wax on top, which is something you can do if your wax is like too thin. Just go up with a new layer on top and it will melt together. And that way you don't have cracking and you're not like pulling people's hair trying to get pieces of wax off. So explained all that and did the strip, like I ripped it. And it was great. And I am really proud of myself for doing all of that because, again, I blacked out. I did not know I was going to get called on. But I had just been thinking about what it would feel like being in the position of an instructor, a teacher, and it happened. So going back to my seat, I felt like a kid when a kid gets called on at like an event and they're in front of the whole school. Like my heart was racing and I was like, okay, I got to come down from this high. There was even a point in the class where they had asked if anyone did sugaring, and my team and I were the only ones that raised our hands. So being in a room full of 50 people and we were the only ones that offered a service was crazy to me as well. And it kind of makes me think maybe that's what I want to do if I were to do something like more sugaring. I'm obsessed with sugaring. So I don't know, maybe a nugget. We went to the other side of the convention, which was all the vendors. And I will not lie, I was honestly surprised that there wasn't more. It was extremely small and underwhelming. We walked around, checked out some booths. We bought a couple things, like everyone got individual things. And I also ordered a new tool or like mechanical tool that is used to basically polish the skin. It's an exfoliator, so it gets rid of all the dead skin, and then with a different mitt, a lotion is put on and basically polished and buffed. So I'm excited to bring that on, especially for those who have KP or bumps or just very dry skin. It's going to be so helpful to get rid of the dead skin and rehydrate it with some moisturizer. As we were walking around, there was another booth that was for Esthetician Edit, a podcast. It caught my attention. She was doing a giveaway and I entered. A little bit later, we were walking around more of the convention. I got an email saying that I had won one of the giveaway baskets and I got to go get a prize bag. Once again, I was in shock, like what was going on energetically. Everything was lining up. It was so insane and I was soaking it all up. I was very much enjoying it because it's not often that there's days where it's just like boom, boom, boom. So I was eating it up. She was so sweet and I found a new podcast to binge. The goodie bag had so many good treats in it, lots of face masks and full-size products like body oils. After the convention, we went to the Reading Market in downtown Philly where there's a bunch of food stands. And the girls wanted some Korean corn dogs. So I remembered from like 2 years ago when we went and I was like digging my way through the maze of aisles of food. They're literally labeled like streets, guys. There are so many. We got our corn dogs and that was just a little snack before we went and got soup dumplings in Christiana on our way back. That day was so much fun and the next day was working. The next two, I should say. And then after work on Wednesday, I got home and finished packing last minute, of course. Got in the shower, met with Ty for some dinner, ran payroll before I left, and then drove about 3 hours north to northern PA. I stayed the night with Caylin, and then we went to Woodstock the next day. When I say we had perfect weather, I truly mean we had perfect weather. It was like in the 70s the entire time. Dress up, dress down, boots, a dress, or like a t-shirt and jeans. It was literally perfect. Caylin had made a whole itinerary. It's so cute, and all the little pictures were so cute on it. To be honest though, I don't know how much we really went off it. We spent a lot of time thrifting and antiquing. We went hiking, we went out to eat, we got a friendship reading, we went and saw a burlesque show, which I can't wait to talk about. And she made a freaking fire-ass leopard print loaf of bread. I don't want to have to speed through my trip because it was a couple days, but it's getting to the point where I'm going to have to stop talking soon to start cooking dinner before Ty gets home. So I'm going to try and say and explain and everything as much as possible, and I should probably start and stop wasting time. So day one, we drove there from Wilkes-Barre area, PA. It was about a 2.5 hour ride. We were antiquing and thrifting all day long, from the thrift stores around her apartment to the thrift stores in Woodstock and surrounding areas. We got to our Airbnb, and it was a cute little cozy writer's cottage on someone's property. It had a sauna, it had lawn chairs outside. It was perfect. It was cute. The shower was oddly tucked away in the kitchen corner, and it was really, really small, but it did what it needed to do. That day, we kind of just like got settled in, got some groceries for the days that we were going to be there, and we went to eat dinner at the pub downtown. As we were eating, Caylin did see a squirrel get hit, like as she was taking a bite, and I just saw her face totally change from like enjoying her food to about to throw it up and cry. So that was a little bit much, and I felt so bad for her and the squirrel. But once we left there, we looked around the shops, and there was one metaphysical store that was left open. So we just wanted to go check it out. And I have also been wanting to get some oracle cards that are very just more inspirational than anything. Sometimes I feel like you could read a quote, like no different than a fortune cookie. Like you could read a quote and it just like changes your mindset for whatever it may like resonate with. It doesn't have to be a spooky, scary thing. It's more so just like gets you thinking, almost like a journal prompt, you know? So anyway, I've been wanting to get some, and I know with things like that, just like with anything like jewelry or things you're going to use and hold on to and put energy in and towards, like you want it to call to you. And I actually found some, let me see what it looks like. It's called Inspirational Wisdom from, what is it, Angels and Fairies, and it's so cute. But we walked in and they were like, hello, welcome in. We're doing tarot readings, and like let us know if you need anything. I was like, okay. So we're just looking around, was not expecting anything. And then she's like, yep, she just started. And I could feel the energy on the owner. She was so excited to have this new team member. And then it got me thinking into like business mode kind of, and I was like, you know what, I love supporting small businesses. I love supporting when people are new if I can in any way. I felt okay, so I was like, sure, like I'll go for it, see what this girl reads on me. So funny. And she also said that she could offer like a friendship reading, which I thought was so cute. So we were there, and a few main things that stood out is just like chaotic energy, which made me laugh because literally I could trip over nothing, and I could not be by a bookshelf and all the books will go falling, like if I'm just in the vicinity. Just like crazy things like that, right? Like, so she's like, I can sense like a little bit of chaotic energy, and there's just like a lot of movement. You work a lot. She just kept saying, I work a lot, which I do. And that basically I'm a magic manifester, and I have been told that, and that made me very excited. And our friendship reading together, it was so cute. It was like we got the lovers, and Caylin definitely is a sister to me. I call her my sister bestie. She has been to Mexico with my family and I. She's been back home with me, I think like twice. Like she is family. She's blood. And getting our reading together was adorable because like the cottage we were staying in was just so like, not, I don't want to say romantic, but very like relationship connecting. I don't know. It was so cute. But everything she said was basically that we've been friends for a while and we're going to be lifelong friends. And that I want to say she said something about her entering my life at a time or being like a piece that was missing. And I can for sure feel that because she is such a big feeling of home to me and I love her so much. Day 2, we got up early and we went for a hike. I hope I'm pronouncing this correctly, but we went to Catterskill Falls. It was about 30 minutes north of Woodstock. It was a bit of a chillier morning, and when we got to the hike, as we got closer to the waterfall, the mist was coming up, and it was so refreshing, though, because there were so many steps. It said it was supposed to be an easy hike, and it wasn't awful. However, there was definitely some sketchier areas with the steps being like wet, and then it did start misting a little bit out, but it was still overall 10 out of 10. The waterfall was gorgeous. We went early enough that there wasn't a lot of people. The porta potties were clean. Then we went back to our Airbnb, made some breakfast burritos, and got into the sauna that was there. We were in there for about 45 minutes. I think that is fairly way too long, but I can't break a sweat, and Caylin was really pushing through for me to be able to break a sweat. So we were in there for a minute. Then we got showered up and decided to do some crafts. I couldn't tell you the time. Honestly, my perception of time there was just non-existent. The days felt long in the best way, as in like I got so much out of them. That night we went out to dinner, so we got all ready, and then we saw that there was a burlesque show at 7. So we had an early dinner, went to the burlesque show, and it was so inspiring. Like, I love these. I had always wanted to go to one after seeing, I forgot the movie Christina Aguilera, I'm pretty sure it's called Burlesque. Christina Aguilera stars in, and she's just incredible. But it's truly like a show. All the girls looked so good and just confident and comfortable in their bodies, and I love that for them, and it just inspired me. I loved it and everything about it. One girl even came out with a snake, like a whole Britney moment, and she ate that up. Our last full day, we started at the cabin with some yogurt and coffee. We did get ready extremely early, not realizing that everything doesn't open until about 11. So we walked around downtown for quite some time and then looked around the shops once they finally did open. We got to try some famous stuffed bagels. I want to say the place was called Moon Pie, but I really feel like it might be Moon Bagels or something like that. So we did a lot of walking that day and checked out a lot of the shops. We decided to get takeout from the town next door, which is Kingston, and it was about 15 minutes away. That was just the nearest town with anything. Like, Woodstock didn't have any chains, or besides CVS, everything else was small business, no big box stores, which was very cool. But we did have to go to the next town to get some Asian food, and then we brought it back to the Airbnb and just crafted, watched movies, and I think we went to bed really early. And the next day we came home. So that was basically my week. I've been getting caught up, and it is now time for me to really start cooking before Ty gets home. I know this episode was really just a how my week went recap, but I do hope that you got something out of it or just enjoyed listening to how my week has been. I can feel that things are going to be picking up soon, and with that, I just want to be home now. I've been catching up on laundry, and I feel like I need to better organize everything in my life now. I went on a trip. I need to stay home because next month I have another trip coming up, and life's just going to keep on rolling. So anyway, I know that this was just a bit of me yapping. I can't wait to share more things next week. I hope you all have a beautiful day, a beautiful week, and surround yourself with things that bring you joy and make you smile. And if you need to get outside more, please do. All right, I love you guys. Bye.